Live. Going live.
Well, we are indeed live on Facebook and live on YouTube at the same time. Craziness, isn't it?
E-N-W.
Here we are again. And I know the glasses are great, aren't they? Aren't they great? They're the best ever.
They were my idea.
Yeah, of course they were, because you know they weren't my idea. But y'all know that already. And we got the good ones. Went to Pearl Vision Center and got the good ones. These are the prescription
20/20
ones.
vision.
These are high quality. Anyway,
I'm Barbara Walters.
This
is
and I'm 90. Anyway, I don't think Barbara's going to do that this year.
No, I don't.
A lot of people have said that she should.
That would be fun if she did.
But I think it'd just be fun for us.
Yes.
I don't think it would be fun for half the people who are in Times Square who don't know who she is. I don't think that would be fun. It only be a joke for us.
Yeah, a lot of the young people at work
don't have any idea. Why? Who's Barbara Walters? Exactly. What's 2020? Anyway, so this is the Real Talk with Deb and Will. This is our New Year's Eve countdown. We hope that you are well this New Year's Eve. We hope that you're home and you're not out there in that madness. And if you're out there in that madness, you've come home.
Or
and
if you are out there, you're at a safe place that you can stay.
Yeah, because it can get nutty. Not that I would know from experience, but what? No,
he knows from experience.
Except I don't have any idea. So we wanted to spend a little time with you this evening. Schedule has been such that in the last couple of weeks we've not been able to do our Monday morning lives on Facebook because you guys don't have that that second gig at an amusement park, and at that amusement park we've been working Monday morning, and that's coming to an end next week.
Yes, thank goodness.
Yes, I'm appreciative of the job. I'm appreciative of the stuff, but that's coming to an end. Yes, and Sundays, we wanted to spend some time with you this evening before the new year to talk about a little bit about what I think and what we think that you can do to improve the quality of relationships moving into next year.
Have 20/20 vision in your relationship,
because this is a time people make resolutions and that kind of stuff. I'm
not too much of a fan of those.
No,
anymore.
because they don't. Because if I can take this for a second, because it makes my nose itch.
You can take.
Thank you.
Off.
My God, my nose is just like crazy.
You have to put them on the countdown.
Okay, I'll put them back on in a few minutes. I'd rather people just make decisions on how to move forward. Resolutions are one of those things that are sort of trendy, and by the fact we call them resolutions, we almost give ourselves license not to do it. By it's a New Year's resolution, so nobody does those. Nobody does those, right? Everybody breaks those almost as soon as the last syllable comes out of our mouth. So we almost give ourselves permission not to do it. So my thought is that we need to start making decisions about how you're going to move forward in a lot of things, and your relationships are one of them. What are the things that you are going to make better in 2020, or things that you're going to work on, that there are weak spots or blind spots that you've had that you are going to improve, and just make the decision to do so, and then start by doing it. Start now.
One thing that I knew that I'm going to try this year is because a lot of times visual things make me do better. So I'm doing a vision board. I
saw it. It's beautiful. I'm not doing a vision board.
I spent the most of this evening preparing my vision board and things that I want to keep 20/20 vision on. And that's gonna help me to stay focused.
And there are a lot of people, you know what, and Debbie's one of them who do well with that constant visual reminder. And that's something that might work for you. That constant visual reminder of this is what I'm focused on, this is what I'm going to do, and this is where that I see myself moving forward. So that might not be a bad plan. But take the opportunity, take any opportunity, and this is an opportunity to decide that you're going to go either a different direction or you're going to go harder in a direction
that you've been struggling
in, that you're going to go harder. So
I did.
What you do?
What'd
you buy?
A board.
Oh, you bought something?
For the family. I bought enough boards so that the whole family could make vision boards if they wanted to. But I'm guessing that won't be happening.
Are you going to make a vision board? I think so. Probably not.
But I wanted to be fair.
Well, it was okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. But
I was thinking about you.
I appreciate it. Hey, y'all. Clap twice for 3 subs. I'm not sure what that means. We got some folks on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us on the YouTube chat. In YouTube chat, we really appreciate it. But you know what? That's really important. And again, take this opportunity to decide that you're going to do something different in your relationship or do something better in your relationship. Not that you have to wait till once a year to make those decisions, but this is a time when people are making decisions like that.
Yes.
Decide what you're going to do. And now, a lot of us, and men especially, we like the big gesture, like the big grand thing. But if you don't, you know what? The problem with the big grand thing, if it doesn't happen, you feel like a failure. It's better, frankly, if you choose something small that is going to make things better, that you can actually accomplish.
Something simple that you can feel more accomplished at, and then gradually move up to bigger things.
Yeah, and I think that what will happen is that the bigger things will naturally start to occur, because nothing's better than having the success of moving of accomplishment. Nothing's better than having that success, and that'll give you energy and that'll give you confidence to move to the next thing. And it might be something, guys, may be something simple like, like when you got married, you had a date night. Pre-children, you had a date night. And you'd like to get back to there. And you say, we're gonna have a date night every Friday, regardless. Well, you know what? You haven't had a date night in 6 years, 10 years.
So
how about if you try to have it?
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, probably. Let's see if you can have a date night in January. Let's see if you can have a date night in January and then another one in February. That isn't Valentine's Day. Because that's kind of cheesy.
Yeah, because everybody tries to have.
That's kind of cheesy. You see, so you see what I'm saying? So you would do that, and because if you don't, here's the deal. Because if you don't have a date night in the first 3 weeks of January, you're going to feel like a failure, and then you probably won't. So let's see if you can have one in January before you start talking about we're gonna have a date night every Friday night. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. See if you can get one. And let's see if you can get another one in February. It's that kind of thing. If you've got financial goals, yeah, I know everybody wants to save a bunch of money, and let's see if you can save $20 extra a week in a jar in your bedroom.
Or simply put your
change and see what you
in a jar in your bedroom.
Isn't that the most amazing thing? You put the change from your pockets in there, and you look in there, and in 3 weeks, and there's $1,000 in there. Okay, I mean, but it's a ridiculous amount of money sometimes.
Yes,
you're like,
I know when you
$85
work in
in there.
schools, when you were a teacher, you would put the money in there, and then during the summer months we would cash it in. It would there would always be close to like
It was
$200
incredible.
of change just in 6 months. So that's one way to start saving. Just take the change that you accumulate. And I know a lot of people don't use change, doesn't happen much now because we have debit
Yeah.
cards, and we don't really really keep cash. I don't keep cash on me on regular basis, but that is a way. If you're a cash person, just your change or your dollar bill, just a dollar or something, just chunk it in a jar in your bedroom every night, and you would be surprised how much money you could save.
Yeah. So that, so again, so that's one way you could start something small to build to something big. Like we're gonna save for our vacation. We're gonna go on and blah blah blah. Well, you know what? If you've not been saving all along, chances are you're not going to start putting away $100 a week. You're not.
How about just make a plan to meet with, if you have a bank or a credit union, that you're going to meet with a financial person
At some point.
within the first 3 months
Yeah.
of the year. You're going to meet with a financial person that can set you up with budgeting. If you're having problems saving money, and have sit down with your banker and say, I know from my credit union that if you want to meet with someone who is going to get you invested in trust and investment and stuff like that, it's a free service. So if you have a credit union, check with your credit union, and you can start building up and making have a savings plan, and
Yeah.
and that's a way to start saving.
And the thing is, don't make it a huge deal. You're not JP Morgan. I mean, you're not going to start putting away tens of thousands of dollars a month. You're not going to be investing in stocks and bonds. Don't make it a big deal. Make it something small to start with, something that you can accomplish easily, because nothing breeds success like success. The better, I mean, when you get started, the better you'll be at it, the more you'll feel like doing it, and the more it'll happen kind of automatically, and then you'll be successful. And this is everything, because there's a financial component to your relationship, and we talk about that, and there's an emotional thing to your relationship. So you're going to spend more time together, because I think that the key word for tonight for me, moving into 2020, is together. There's a lot going on. Have you noticed?
Yes.
There's a lot freaking going on. There's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's coming at us from every angle at light speed. There's a lot.
A lot of things are happening in the world.
Oh my goodness gracious!
And
every day.
You
All
need to
damn
be
day.
prepared for everything this year. The financial market out there, the political is just off the chain right now.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Spiritually,
especially.
I would suggest that you, we talk about the setting up New Year's resolutions, but one thing that I would suggest is that you set up, if you're a Christian, set up time for you and your spouse as a relationship, or if you're not married, have a friend and you all set up a prayer time. It's time for us as Christians, to get serious about prayer. This ain't no time to be playing around and thinking, oh, I'll get to it. When I get my life straight, and you ain't gonna never get that. It's time to get serious about being a Christian. If you're a Christian, start a prayer life. Spend time meditating and reading the Word, and be prepared, because you don't never know what's going to happen.
And I think that the key word for 2020 is together. That you're not going to be able to walk through this by yourself. And especially if you're in a relationship,
partnership.
The idea is that you cannot walk. You cannot. You should not, and you will not be able to walk through all this by yourself. So as much time as you can spend developing the quality of your relationship, you should. You must.
Mm-hmm.
You must. And you must do it together. So one of your New Year's resolutions or New Year's decisions is to be more together. Now, that might manifest in any number of ways. That might manifest in actually spending more physical time together. That's important. But for some people, again, do not think about the grand gestures. Sometimes it's just about the conversation. Sometimes, hello, come in. Hello,
Sorry.
Santa's here. Oh, who just dropped him out his way back to the North Pole? But he does that. He drinks a little bit. But we always think about the grand gestures, about the grand thing. Think about the small things. Think about being intentional. I think 2019, a lot of people started using the word early about being intentional. Intentional about how you're spending time, what you're saying, the things you're saying, how you're spending time with people, what people you're allowing to influence you, and the people that you're influencing on purpose. So that was last year. The word was intentional. For me, the word this year is together. That we've got to do stuff together. We've got to be together. We got to be together spiritually. We got to be together financially. We got to be together in every way possible. We have to be a united front because there's a lot coming.
Ready for battle.
There's a lot coming. So we have to be a united front. And again, please don't think this is some grand gesture where you have to go climb a mountain somewhere and spend 4 months. No, please. That's not what we're talking. That is not what I'm talking about. You can do a little bit at a time. And if you've not been doing it all along, you can start doing it in January, which is just speaking of January. Let's talk about January just a second, which is 16 minutes away. And we're not in New York, and we're not watching 12 minutes and 46 seconds. We're not in New York. We're not watching a crystal ball drop in cold and rain because sucks to be them.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah. Sorry, Steve. We are not there in a drunken Mariah Carey. We're not. We're here. Where it was, I don't know, it was probably 78 degrees at some point today in the park.
Right now it is 57.
57 out there
in beautiful Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, and there's no snow going. So woo. So we are on the East Coast. There are a lot of people who may be watching from the West Coast. Your New Year's Eve is coming. Your New Year's, your January 1st is coming. It's on the way. For the folks in Chicago, you're an hour and 12 minutes away. Arizona, you're 2 hours away, and Los Angeles, you guys are 3 hours away. So, woohoo! And when it becomes 2020 in California, y'all don't call me. I'll be sleeping. Don't call me.
You do have friends that
do
that.
I do that have friends that call me, and there's a 3 hour difference. Don't call me. We'll talk next week sometimes. But anyway, so that's what we really hope for. I mean, we
call him Shirley.
Don't call me. Please do not call me. The cool thing about my phone is that at midnight, all the notifications turn off. All the notifications just go. And it's been that way for about a year or so. That's how I treat my phone. So, again, we'll be back on a regular basis on starting next Monday, right?
Yes, because
your schedule hasn't changed either. Because we had some concern that Debbie's schedule will change. So we'll be back on Monday, and we'll be coming in on 2 years of Real Talk with Deb and Will on YouTube and on Facebook. And we find it's funny because we find out that people that we know here in town watch the program
on
a regular basis and enjoy it and have questions and want to interact. So if you want, moving into 2020, if you've got questions and want to interact, now is the time to ask. Mm-hmm. You don't have to, again, together. You don't have to go through. Y'all don't have to go through this by yourselves. You don't have to go through any of it by yourselves. We want to be a resource to you. We want to be a help to you if we can, and if we don't know the answers, maybe we can look for the answers.
And
together.
some things that I think we should work on to talk about
What are we
would
doing?
be um, finances.
Oh, we're going to talk
We
about
should do
finance. We're going to talk about,
finance
yeah, this is much better
show.
because it's
Uh,
on my nose. I know it's very sensitive. Oh, sorry. Yeah, because the financials part of relationships is extremely important. There's no doubt
that seems more annoying than having it on your
it's
nose.
all annoying. But the financial aspect, of course, of relationships is a really hard conversation to have, but a really important conversation to have as you move forward. And it's at every aspect. It's at the beginning of relationships and in getting it together, and then as both partners lives move forward, you know what, in your careers or whatever, it changes. And now at the now that you're at another point where you start talking about slowing down and retirement and residual income, you know, in the retirement,
That's where we are.
what are we gonna do?
What we're gonna
I'm
do
not working at
for
Busch Gardens forever.
additional income
Hi,
once we
how are you
retire, and
today?
we
I
have
don't care.
benefits. We have benefits, and you can't depend on Social Security.
Social Security
Social
it's not that
Security
much,
is not going to be enough.
and it's a political football, so we never know. You never know what that's going to be like. So there's things you have to, do. I mean, how many investments do you have? And we'll talk about, just because you don't have an IRA now, just because you don't have investments now, doesn't mean that it's too late
It's
necessarily.
never too late to start
So we'll talk
saving.
about all that. We'll talk about adult children. We'll talk about a bunch of stuff, and we'll talk about the things that you want to talk about. Because I think
Send
that's
your
really important.
suggestions and questions that you may have. We love to help people and help you coach you through your relationship issues, and it doesn't have to be for married
No,
couples.
it could
I
be
mean,
relation. And we've talked about it a lot of times. There's a lot of the sameness in relationships, almost any kind of relationships, whether you have business relationships, friend relationships, um, how people deal with one another is a lot the same, no matter what the intensity of the relationship is. So yeah,
coworkers,
so ask the question. Send the emails to
sibling.
WLS860@gmail.com, or write them in the comments there, or write them on the Real Talk with Deb and Will Facebook page. And both of us are on Facebook pretty much 24/7 anyway, in Messenger. So we'll see it. It won't be like it'll sit there for 10 days. We'll see it at some point. So drop a message in Messenger or on our Facebook pages, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And for something that we can share on the show, we'll be happy to.
We hear fireworks going on behind us.
Well, because everybody and their mama buy $8,000 worth of fireworks and fire them off in their front yard. What I don't want to, which is why we're not going outside in a little bit, because in our neighborhood, people take their 38s out there and they fire in the air, thinking that their bullets are going to go into space, but they don't go into space. They drop down and fall on people's head. And in the last few years, that's exactly what's happened. We've had some incidents where people have caught some bullets in the head or in the shoulder or somewhere by people who are firing firearms in the air. So if you're going to go outside in a minute and shoot your firearm, don't.
Please don't.
Just don't. Just don't.
I know that when I was growing up, my dad used to do that.
It was a tradition, and it's a tradition for a lot of people.
But we lived in the country. There was no close neighbors that you could shoot, and it would tell you. We could hear sometimes the bullets would hit the tin roof.
Because they will come down.
Yes.
Because your 22 or your shotgun does not have the power to send a bullet into space. It won't just keep going and float to the moon. It'll fall down. And people are getting hurt because we're living closer and closer together.
You don't have to keep up.
And people, I'm not going to in a minute. I'm trying. I want everybody to know how hard I tried, so they won't say that I gave up, that I was a wimp, that I tried.
Maybe you have a bad pair.
Yeah, a bad pair. A bad pair. I got a bad pair of cardboard. I don't know. My cardboard
I
isn't good.
I was the dutiful person and went and bought some. You can hook them onto your regular glasses,
I
maybe.
tried to do that, but that didn't really work. But now if I do this, I can't see what I'm doing. That works well. Anyway, happy New Year. But in any case, so again, if you're curious and if you're looking for assistance and in relationship issues, please let us know, and we'll do our best, our level best to help you, because that's what we do. I mean, we want people to succeed. We want people to win.
And that was the whole reason for starting this channel.
Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago when we hit. We've actually been married 32 years, and we celebrated that this month.
Yes,
And
I remember
when we did that, we renewed our vows at 30, and I had this feeling that we needed to start helping other people. We want to see other couples and people to make it to 30 years. So if we are able to help you to improve your relationships and be with your significant other for a long time, that's what we want to do.
Because the stronger relationships are, the stronger families are, and the stronger families are, the stronger communities are, and on and on.
And the better children are. Your relationship with your spouse or significant other, you have kids together, the stronger you two are together, the better you are for raising productive children.
Yeah, because you want them to have, if you can possibly have you want them to have good role models. You want to have good examples to follow. Not that they're just following examples and trying to do the opposite. Because that works a little bit, but it's really not that helpful. You need to follow examples that they can follow and rinse and repeat with their children. Because whatever you see in whatever's in your relationship, you will see eventually in your grandchildren's relationships, because that's how it works. So the better you guys can be, the better your family will be generationally. And I think that's important, especially in our community, that we improve the quality of our families, because that's more of our difficulty, that's more of our challenge than anything. I think it's proving the quality of our families, our family relationship, which used to be, especially in the Black community, that used to be what we did really well. Unfortunately, we don't do that as well as we used to. But that's a whole nother kettle of fish I'll talk to you about later. How I'm able
of the community.
I'm able to downshift that. I could have gone off on that.
Downshift, and he can do that.
Slow down. Downshift.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting
your friends
close to 2020.
A few of my friends are playing gigs. I know what they're doing. They're out there playing electric slide.
Mine are partying, probably.
Really? Mine are playing gig. Mine are playing electric slide.
Oh, that's right. You didn't play. You haven't played a gig in a long time.
I haven't done a New Year's Eve gig in forever, and I am glad. Don't miss it. Talked to somebody yesterday though. Met them at the Wawa getting gas. Who's on our Facebook page? A guy named Robin, trumpet player, bass player, and we both talked about doing New Year's Eve gigs and decided, we're pretty much done with that. And as a portion of our lives,
we're getting down. We're down less than
a minute.
Less than a minute.
Less than a minute.
I'm gonna pour us up a little drink here.
It's not really a drink.
Here you go.
We could have communion with this,
Alex.
And some of us have had communion with this. Again, what we hope for you in 2020 is all the things.
A little drinky.
Okay, not drinking. It's not even it, and for you Catholics, it's not even your communion stuff because Catholics do the hard stuff.
They do the real.
Catholics are like, hit me up with some scotch. No, they don't do scotch, but they do the real stuff. The Baptists, well, this is more Baptist. although we're not Baptist, but this is more Baptist communion.
I was a Baptist.
He was. All right, so we're going to start our countdown right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
2020. God bless you all, and we hope that that 2020 is everything, absolutely everything that you want, everything that you need. And remember, there's nothing that you can't do, and there's nothing that we can't do together, which is why we're here in the first place. We will be here for you all through 2020. We're not going anywhere. We've been here for 2 years. Be 2 years on MLK Day.
Yes, MLK.
Can I put my glasses back on so I can see?
It's just now. Alex says that it just now.
No, it's just delayed.
Yes, delayed. We're good.
Okay.
And the fireworks are going off at Busch Gardens like it caught fire. Like it caught fire. So all my friends who are from Busch Gardens who are going to watch this later, Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year.
I mean,
we are making this a tradition to ring in the new year
with you guys.
Excuse me. If you're watching this later,
I'm sorry, I didn't almost forget. Oh, hell's breaking loose.
A lot going on.
A lot going on out there, which is why we're in here with the door locked and the deadbolt turned. So, again, all my friends who are working at Busch Gardens who watch, and all our friends who work at the credit union who are watching, again, Happy New Year to you and your families.
Happy New Year.
Have a wonderful, healthy, prosperous New Year, and we'll be here. We'll be here.
Love you.
We love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. So again, we'll see you when we see you. Good night now.
You okay?
And 1, 2.